Good morning, dear participants of the forum of our roundtable, Russia-Kyrgyzstan. I'm Ainur Samanov. I'm the trade representative of the Russian Federation in the Kyrgyz Republic, and I'm the moderator of today's roundtable, when we're going to discuss the relations between two friendly and strategic partners, Russia and Kyrgyzstan. We're going to discuss positive practices in our mutual relations and also the challenges that we face, that our countries face currently. And I'm quite sure that our speakers will share their experience with us, best practices aimed at strengthening and expansion of our mutual relations. Speaking about the trade and economic dialogue between Russia and Kyrgyzstan, I want to say that it's been expanding gradually and steadily. And we see a very large business community, a very representative delegation from Kyrgyzstan is the evidence of it. They came to Tatarstan to participate in the 15th Forum of Russia Islamic World. You've seen already a very good booth of Kyrgyzstan in one of the pavilions. Speaking about the mutual dialogue between the countries, we want to note that we want to know the stable growth of the trade turnover. We reached $3.5 billion of turnover. That's a very good number. Besides trade, we also want to develop industrial cooperation between our countries. Presently, we are looking at some joint initiatives. We're building some solar power plant. We also built windmill power plant. We see the railroad cooperation that's very bright, and in our country we are creating the car building plant, and this is the record. Between our turnover is a record between the international companies and Russia. Also, we pay taxes in the budget of Kyrgyzstan, and we have several projects. We're building a hydropower plant in Kulanak, Gasanul, and others. And the Russian-Kyrgyzstan Development Fund plays a very important role in it, in the industrial cooperation. And apart from this fund, we also note a very important role of the Eurasian Development Bank, which financed over $19 million during last year, and it was a breakthrough actually last year, because Kyrgyzstan became the receiver of the major part of the investments in Central Asia. We also are we opened the trade center, the business center in Bishkek, and it will enhance the communication between our countries. Of course, we pay a lot of attention to the investment cooperation, and as the result of 2023, Russia took the second place in direct investments, $150 million. We have some joint projects. We're looking at other initiatives. We're looking at serious financial institutions. And of course, we have a total understanding at the government level, at the business level, that will be conducive to further development of bilateral relations. And I would like to say that, of course, it is a very important role in the bilateral relations is played by the Ministry of Trade and Commerce of the Kyrgyz Republic. And I just want to give floor to the Deputy Minister of Industry and Commerce, Mr. Malayev, Nazareth Commandant Malayev. Thank you very much, dear colleagues. I want to greet everyone here at this round table, Russia-Kyrgyzstan. It's the anniversary forum, economic forum this year. And I want to express my gratitude to the organizers for their warm welcome and the high level of organization of the forum and this roundtable today. It goes without saying that I would like to note the role of the cooperation between Kyrgyzstan and Russia in the current conditions. It's very important, and that's why we are here at this round table, which gives us another opportunity to discuss the further prospects of our cooperation. As you know, the relations between our countries have been developing dynamically. We have strategic partnership. We are allies. And it's not only a bilateral format, but we cooperate actively in regional and international unions. One of the most effective tools of these unions is Eurasian Economic Union, where Kyrgyzstan and Russia find consensus on very many important issues of economic cooperation. Speaking about our bilateral format of cooperation, as of today, we have over 100 agreements and in place regulating our relations in various sectors of economy, humanitarian areas, and so on. If we want to note the most important for the Kyrgyz Republic, I would say that the integration processes in the Kyrgyz Republic, Russia plays a very important role, and we have an agreement between our governments about technical assistance to Kyrgyzstan. When we joined the Eurasian Economic Union, and within the framework of this union, we managed to modernize our testing laboratories and other technical bases. We have modernized the basis of these technical facilities, and we complied with all the obligations under this agreement. And right now, we are in full compliance with the regulations of the Eurasian Economic Union, and this is thanks to the support of the Russian Federation. Besides, you know that we have united market of oil and gas products within this Eurasian space. It is governed by the bilateral agreements. We have agreements on supplies of petroleum products, which is very important for our economy. So for Kyrgyzstan, we have indicative balances, and we import free of tax oil petroleum products on a large scale. Besides, I wanted to say that besides bilateral agreements, we have in place a government-to-government commission on the economic, technical, and humanitarian cooperation. We have already held 24 meetings of this commission. And we have interregional conferences between the countries. We held this one of the meetings in Jalalabad, and with over 600 participants, and we signed over 40 documents during this conference. We have over 10 agreements on the brotherhood relations. We also have the roadmap with the Republic of Tatarstan, Bashkortostan, and the Tumen region. If the specificity of our bilateral relations, which have been developing very dynamically, and this cooperation inside these unions, it can be evaluated at a very high level, because as of today in the market of Kyrgyzstan, very active work is being carried out. We are involved in joint activities. We have established several joint enterprises, over 100 of them, and we have joint projects. And within the framework of this forum, we signed an agreement with the Wildberries company to build a logistics distribution center in our country. This is one of the major projects which is going to be implemented within the framework of cooperation with Russia. What else can I note in this respect? It is very important to note that it's not only the Russian Federation, but the Kyrgyz Republic support Russia. It's mutual support within the Eurasian Economic Union, because within this Eurasian Economic Union we have a single system of technical regulations, uniform tariffs, duties, import duties. So we have regulations on tariff and non-tariff measures, and we have different economies. Russia is more developed. Russia has more developed industry, and that's why when we have tariff benefits and beneficial customs duties, we rely on this support, because when we have zero duties, then it's sort of like an indirect subsidy from the union in order to, and it's the support on behalf of major Russian industrial enterprises. So this is the cooperation which is mutually beneficial. What else I would like to note in this respect? Speaking about the trade turnover, Mr. Zhu already mentioned that it's been developing dynamically. It's been growing from year to year. And if we take the numbers of our statistical directorate, then the turnover have increased by 1.7 times. And right now it has reached $3 billion US. If we look at the structure of the import-export structure, we see that the exports are mostly agricultural, textiles, and with Russia. And from Russia we get the socially important goods, and we export our domestic products into the markets of the Russian Federation. I just want to note that Eurasian Economic Union makes it much easier for us to carry out this cooperation, and we strengthened our cooperation because in many directions all the members of the Eurasian Economic Unions, in many areas of economic development, we already delegated our authorities to that supranational body, which affects our cooperation positively. Also, I would like to say that not only economically, but also in the humanitarian area, in what we had before we joined the Eurasian Economic Union, and now everything has been developing very dynamically. We have colleagues from various agencies and ministries. They're going to speak in detail about the implemented and pending projects. Also, I would like to say that within the framework of this forum, I personally noted that we have a lot in common as far as the halal industry development is concerned. For instance, with the Republic of Tatarstan, because we adopted a law on halal industry, and we need to develop in this area actively. And there are a lot of topics for discussion. We can share experience, and if we're talking about trade products, commodities, then we have a well-established flow, but we would like to study the experience of Tatarstan in services, because this sector is actively developing in our country. All in all, I would say that the Russian Federation has a lot of experience in technical regulation, and now we are working actively, exchanging experience. We we want to prevent manufacture of products which will be substandard to the technical regulations of the Union. And, well, briefly, I think that I've mentioned everything that I wanted to say. As you know, we and the Russian Federation, we have cooperation in all the areas, and it's been developing very dynamically, and we aimed for further cooperation. We want to exert every effort so that our cooperation would be beneficial for both of our countries and for the well-being of our citizens. I want to again reiterate that I want to express my gratitude to the organizers of this roundtable, and I would wish further development of our relations between Russia and Kyrgyzstan, because we have lots of plans, we have lots of ideas to be implemented. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nazarbek Aldilovich. You've mentioned very interesting topics. Eurasian Economic Union actually gives a very good advantage for the businesses of both countries to enhance and to expand the trade turnover. And of course, that's a new program in Eurasian Economic Union. The subsidies to the tax rates for new projects, and we hope to see more new joint enterprises. Now we'll go to our speakers, and now please, this is the request for all the speakers, maximum 5 minutes, because we only have time until 11:30, because there will be another session here. So you have 5 minutes for your speeches, and of course we note that we always note that we have trade and economic relations between Russia and Kyrgyzstan, but also we are talking, besides economics, we're talking about education, cooperation in education and culture. Tatarstan and Russia is one of the key economic partner of Kyrgyzstan, but also they have a lot cooperation in trade and education, in education, exchange of education. Students exchange from Kyrgyzstan and Tatarstan. Over 60 Kyrgyz students became students at Alabuga Free Economic Zone. Right now, I would like to give floor to the first deputy education minister of Tatarstan, Andrei Fomin.
And good morning, dear colleagues. I will briefly present the international cooperation projects in the area of higher education that are implemented in our republic, as well as on the potential that we have to develop our relationships further. Today, we've got 46 universities, 26 universities, the main ones, and the branches, 20 branches, and 46,000 students altogether. So by a number of students per 10,000 population inhabitants, our republic is one of the top in Russia. Currently, 22,000 international students study in our republic. You can see where they study. And these are the countries where we receive international students from. Kyrgyzstan is in the top 10. It's not the leading one, but we have a great potential, untapped capacity still there. Out of 369 students that study in our universities, 324 study full-time, two full-time and extracurricular study, and 43, this is distant learning. We have a big number of students from Kyrgyzstan who study based on quotas provided by Россотрудничество. And the rest, they study on the contract base. It's not funded from the budget. And this is the breakdown by the universities. Most of the students from Kyrgyzstan, they study at the higher school of oil in Almatyevsk and Knitum Kazan University. And from our perspective, we still have a great untapped capacity, and we are ready and happy to provide training for the students from Kyrgyzstan, providing there are conditions to it. While we interact with Kyrgyzstan, the positive thing is that we not require visas. We are visa-free countries, and we can travel freely. This is really positive for the students. And our universities cooperate based on bilateral agreements. And we have these agreements with the leading scientific organizations of Kyrgyzstan. Here you can see the list of our cooperation areas. I don't want to go through it. You can read it out. Almost all the leading universities of our republic, one way or another, cooperate with the universities and scientific organizations of Kyrgyzstan. Let me mention that one of our universities, National Research Technological University, has a branch in the city of Kant that operates since 2009 for 15 years already on two educational programs, which is chemical technology and management. This branch provides in-person and distant education. Bishkek has a cultural and scientific center to streamline Tatar language and culture, not only in Kyrgyzstan. While we interact with Kyrgyzstan, we do have this educational and cultural center, and we have such centers in other countries. We already talked today that Alabaga Polytech provides training to the students, and we have an advanced system of mid-level educational vocational schools. We have 188 state-owned vocational schools that provide training on all major technical specialties, and we also have extra capacity here. We are ready for the bilateral cooperation, and we can establish direct contacts between educational institutions. And we would like to engage our partners from the real sectors of economy. For example, in Alaboga, we have a powerful example. This is a powerful example in that sense. That's why, dear colleagues and friends, we are ready to advance our relationships further. We're ready for the dialogue, and we are eager to implement diverse programs in the area of professional education. Thank you, Andrew Ivanovich. You noticed that today 22,000 international students study, and overall, speaking about the students from Kyrgyzstan, Russia provides education to 9,000 citizens of Kyrgyzstan in different regions and cities of the Russian Federation. Last year, presidents launched construction of 9 schools where education is done in the Russian language, and we have Kyrgyz Slavic University operating in Kyrgyzstan. And now I would like to give the floor to the First Deputy Minister Education and Science, Dijan Tarabayevich. Please tell us, how do you establish your work in Kyrgyzstan in terms of educational sector? Perhaps you have further plans to engage lecturers from the Russian Federation and increase the number of students. Thank you for giving me the floor. Of course, we prepared our slides as well, but Andrew Ivanovich, you already briefly presented the whole picture of cooperation between Kyrgyzstan and Tatarstan. That's why I will not use the slides, and I will briefly explain what is happening in the educational sector of Kyrgyzstan. Yes, indeed, more than 9,000 students study in the Russian Federation, and annually we increase the quotas that are provided from the Russian Federation on the grant basis. For the last year, they provided 1,000 students places across the Russian Federation. And in Tatarstan, we don't have many students who enter universities using this quota. It requires more intense cooperation on bilateral basis. We need to streamline, we need to inform students about Tatarstan universities, because Tomsk and Novosibirsk, when they have admission campaigns, they come to Kyrgyzstan and they hold events to attract students, to bring more students to their universities, so we can intensify our cooperation. On the industrial sector trainings, in our republic we have 100 organizations of vocational training, and we started to cooperate on Alaboga model, and we urge the private sector to take part in it. And German companies coming to us, they want to cooperate with our educational establishments to train specialists for their big enterprises. For the industrial sites, they teach German language and they give them vocational professional training. And for the final year, they go to Germany, they become employed, and best of them stay in Germany and become employed. In Tatarstan, we have industrial sites, so we can use this approach as well. And in Kyrgyzstan, nowadays, for the 2 or 3 recent years, we are upgrading our educational system, and we want to perform the digital transformation of the school level education. And we are one of the 5 top countries in CRS experiencing enjoying demographic growth. And nowadays, our coverage of preschool education is only 26% of our preschoolers. We have enormous untapped capacity. We need to intensify our work in this area. And last year, we abandoned licensing of the preschooling education, and now any entrepreneur can open a private kindergarten just by notifying authorities online. No more requirements. We are developing home-based kindergartens and other models with the countries where this private-public partnership process is already advanced, and we are bringing it in Kyrgyzstan. If in Tatarstan there are different models operating on private kindergartens and partnership in preschool education, we are ready to acquire this experience from you. On the school, elementary school, secondary school education, we will switch to the 12-year education model, and we want to perform a full digital transformation of the elementary and secondary school system. And Tatarstan is one of the leaders in digitalization of the university and elementary and secondary school level. For us, it is interesting to get to know these technological advances. And Mr. Japarov, he is the Prime Minister of our country. He signed the memo on cooperation in Washington with the Google company that will act as one of our consulting partners for the educational digitalization project. We are about to complete our negotiations in London, and it's reaching the signing stage with Cambridge University, and we are planning to procure 46 books to be adjusted to our needs and to be implemented in Kyrgyzstan from 1st to 12th year of study. Stanford method will be applied. We are buying the most advanced textbooks in the world for our republic. Also, we are planning to ensure this year that all the school teachers have specialized laptops. It will be a great assistant for our teachers, where we will download all the curriculums, video materials, lessons, electronic diaries, and interaction with all as a part of all steps of the educational processes in the Republic, and bring together 80,000 school teachers, and we will make one single unified network, and our Ministry of Education will curate it, and we will monitor how our teachers use materials and tutorials, digital tutorials that we're planning to introduce in the school education. As far as the university level of education is concerned, Federal University of Kazan is the most active. We have an agreement, and we signed an MOUs with the leading universities of our republic. For 1 year ago, 5 universities were given a special status by the presidential decree, and testifying that these universities, they are free in academics and financial spheres, so they can freely cooperate with the leading universities of the world, and they can develop it further. We already got first results. The budget is growing, and they invest more in their infrastructure. They open clinics on the auspices of the universities, and they build new facilities. According to the agreement, starting from this year, we will build 9 new schools in 7 regions and 2 Republican level cities of Kyrgyzstan. Yesterday, Zelenodolsk, the city of Zelenodolsk, was visited by our delegation. We will build a similar school to 1,224 places for the children capacity. And Bishkek, we will start building in Bishkek, Batken, and Karakol, and all the land issues, all the permissions are provided, and we are finalizing our estimates. And within 2 or 3 years, these schools will be commenced into operation. They will be fully advanced. They will have all the infrastructure in place, furniture, all the equipment will be there. The teaching will be done in Russian language, and most of the students will be coming from the Russian Federation. So they will be trained specifically. So within 6 years to come, these schools will be commenced into operation, and they will start helping us. Also, I want to emphasize that we have an enormous potential to cooperate with Tatarstan in the educational area, especially at the university level and vocational training. And I believe our active cooperation will continue in the years to come, and cooperation will see only positive dynamics. Thank you, Bigjan Tarabayevich. Indeed, of course, the educational sphere is one of the most important personnel required to develop industrial cooperation. Since we started talking about industrial level cooperation, let me mention that the government, the management of Republic of Kyrgyzstan, is planning to build a technological industrial park, which was discussed at the meeting of the ministers of Kyrgyzstan while the Russian delegation visited Kyrgyzstan. Russian delegation expressed its willingness to provide assistance and share its experience, because Russia has gained competences in establishment of industrial parks. Of course, the experience of Tatarstan is fit for the purpose, because the best economic zones like Innopolis, Technopolis, Himgrad, and Alabaga operate in Tatarstan. I would like to give the floor to the Deputy Minister of Ministry of Industry and Trade, to Mr. Lerner German Yanovich. Dear colleagues, I am so happy to welcome you here at the Republic of Tatarstan. This is 15th Economic Forum, Russia, Islamic World. And this forum is annual, and it's an annual event. And this year we have a record. We beat all the records this year, and 20,000 people, eight countries of the world, all the constituents of the Russian Federation take part. The absolutely remarkable exhibition which has organized, the spirit, the atmosphere at the forums, platforms is so benevolent and so positive, and we feel great prospects in cooperation of Russia and Islamic world. We highly appreciate close and friendly relationships that got established between Republic of Tatarstan and Republic of Kyrgyzstan on this Russia-Kyrgyzstan relationship track. Kyrgyzstan is a very promising partner, and we are interested in development of our cooperation, and our volume of trade is growing. In 2023, it reached $170 million US, which is the top indicator, the top level over the entire history of our cooperation. However, this target, this level is far from the maximum. We can increase the volume of trade more, considering the potential that we have in the relationships of our countries. For that, starting from 2017, we have an agreement between the government of Kyrgyzstan and Tatarstan. In 2021, we signed the action plan on trade, scientific, social, and humanitarian cooperation for the period 2021-2022, which is already completed. Currently, as a part of implementing this agreement, we are coordinating new areas of cooperation, and we started to prepare action plan for 2024-2026.
We're cooperating with Kyrgyz Republic, especially our enterprises like KAMAZ. They supply vehicles and spare parts, Tatneft, diesel fuel, Tatspirtform, the alcohols, then simulators and training machines, Tatkim preparations, that's the export of drugs and medications. We see some new directions of development in halal industry in Tatarstan because we have already gained certain experience in producing halal products. We also wanted to mention that our republic is an industrial republic. Our gross product is more than 50% industrial, and that's why it's very diversified, and we are ready to cooperate in various directions of those activities. And the key element of making our region attractive is that we have a very well-developed infrastructure. We have industrial parks, which are very successful in every municipal area of Tatarstan. We have over 100 of them. There are 2 special economic zones, Labuga, that's industrial production, and Innopolis, that's the high-tech development. We also have an advanced development areas with all the tax benefits and additional services from managing companies. Also, together with the partners from Kyrgyzstan, we are working on developing industrial zones in the territory of Kyrgyzstan. Tatarstan already has very successful experience in establishing such zones with 2 well-functioning special zones. We have Churchike in Tashkent, we helped it, and Jizaki. And also 2 economic zones are being established. So we can share our experience. We are ready to jointly work on regulatory documentation so that everything from the start would be structured and legalized properly, because as I already mentioned, we have some experience, certain experience in this organization. My colleagues have already mentioned the students. We have over 400 students studying here, and as far as I know, there are over 57,000 Tatars living in Kyrgyzstan. We also had the international forum, the growth of development with China. It was September 7 last year, and also the Games of the Future, which was attended by the president of Tatarstan, and it was in February 20 this year. That was also the impetus for our further development. And the new step in our partnership relations development was the opening of the Consul General office in the capital of Tatarstan, Kazan. We've been in close cooperation with them. So I would like to express my gratitude. I would like to express my gratitude to the Russian Federation trade representative in Kyrgyzstan for organizing our visits, for enhancing the relations which already are established with the Republic of Kyrgyzstan and developing new directions. It's very good that in this fast-changing world we can find support, see new opportunities, and strengthen our friendly relations between our two countries. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. German Yanovich, we've been talking a lot about the trade over, and we should note that the imports of Kyrgyz products into the Russian Federation has been on the rise, and the trademark of Kyrgyzstan is very popular with the Russian consumers. And now I would like to give floor to Urmat Kanatbekovich Tapirov, who is the director of the Center for the Development and Promotion of Export, Kyrgyz Export, which was established recently. Good morning, dear participants of this round table. First of all, I would like to greet everyone, all the participants of this round table here, and I would like to express my gratitude to the organizers of this really global event, the 15th Kazan Forum. For us, it's a venue which is the basis for building bilateral economic and trade relations. So for us, as the participants of the government sector supporting the private sector, we see a lot of opportunities at this forum. Everyone knows that the Russian Federation is our key economic and trade partner over many years, and that's why we would like to say a few words. Mr. Ainur has already mentioned it, that we only have 5 minutes for the presentation. We would like to know that as of today, we have some tasks to increase the bilateral trade turnover. And we've been working, the key ministries and agencies, including the Ministry of Economics, have been working on it. We would like to note that as of today, we would like to speak about the export potential of Kyrgyz Republic. As you see on this graph, you see the growth of Kyrgyz export. There is a slight reduction of this export to the Russian Federation, but nevertheless, we need to note that the numbers of export are much higher than those numbers before the pandemic period, and Russia is the key market for us. So here you can see in this chart that the Russian Federation is a #1 market for us. And again, I want to reiterate that on a regular basis we export gold, but we have key partners, and the #1 is the Russian Federation. So at this forum and this exhibition here, the forum, we would like to express our hope that our private sector will be able to build new relations with the buyers and business community of the Russian Federation, and in particular such regions as Tatarstan, Bashkortostan, and others. So we want to note that as of today, we have reached already, the trade turnover has reached the level of almost $3 billion, and it's very pleasant for me to say that 18% of the trade turnover is trade with the Russian Federation. And that's why we express our hope that within our multilateral and regional unions like Eurasian Economic Union, our countries will be able to streamline and facilitate our trade which is very important for our countries. The next slide. You can see the key goods that we export to the Russian Federation. And among them, it should be noted the clothes, fabrics. It has exceeded $140 million, and also foodstuffs, among them fruit, nuts, vegetables, also some animal products, namely the fish. As of today, we also supply products, processed foods, meats, and dairy. I want to provide information about the share of the Russian Federation in our exports by this sector. That's the dairy and meat products, and also the goods that are present in the market of the Russian Federation. But also I would like to say that we are always working on expanding these trades, these numbers, export numbers, and we have dynamic new companies which today participate in the exhibition here. And we hope that the statistics of trade will show the increase in the numbers. At a Sud company, which is present here, we would like you to know about their products. Now, it should be noted that for the Russian consumer, the fruit, vegetables, and nuts are very well known by the Russian consumer, 42% in the exports. The next, and also lately, it's become very important for us. We already noted that for Kyrgyzstan, a very important sector is the textiles and clothing industry. And for the Russian market, it is already well known. Some of the vendors from Kyrgyzstan, those who are selling the overcoats, suits, T-shirts, and so on. So the trade has been on the rise, and the number of companies working in the markets of the Russian Federation has been increasing, and that's a good prospect for us. Also, one of the directions for the Kyrgyz Republic is production of the confectionery, cakes, and so on. You know the brand Kulikovsky. Kulikovsky is a franchisee, but for some people, this product is well known as the product for the HoReCa sector in restaurants. So we hope that our manufacturers would also increase their ties with Tatarstan. Our organization was created in September last year. We just 3 months ago, we started operations, and we're ready to support businesses in Kyrgyzstan and also the Russian partners in looking for reliable counterparts in both countries that will help to increase the trade between the countries, and also it will be an opportunity to learn the culture and traditions of Kyrgyzstan. We would like to expand this this area of cooperation. We have our site, and you can see it on this slide. So if you are ready to receive imports from Kyrgyzstan, just noted it. Thank you very much, Gurban Atmikich. You have a very good presentation at the exhibition here. I'm really happy, and I hope that these companies presenting their products here will find the partners, stable and good, reliable partners here, and these products will be visible on the shelves of our stores in the Russian Federation. Now I would like to give floor to our next speaker, to our colleagues, friends, the Industry and Trade Chamber of Tatarstan, and we've been friends for a long time. With them, they organize business missions of enterprises of Kazakhstan to Kyrgyzstan. So I give floor to Mr. Akhmatov Marat Kamchevich, who is the deputy chairman of the Chamber of Tatarstan. Good morning, dear colleagues. For us, Kyrgyzstan is a strategic partner. It's not the first year or the second year that we've been cooperating with them very extensively. It's already been noted that we arranged business missions to Kyrgyzstan, very intensive missions with a duration for over 1 week. So we discussed the production and import exports. Our enterprises supply domestic chemistry products to Kyrgyzstan, but nevertheless, we have still a lot of space to grow, and we see very high dynamics. We see how dynamically and fast Kyrgyzstan has been growing lately in production and in exports. And a very important aspect is culture and education, because this is the basis, the foundation for building our relations. And taking this opportunity, I would like to note about the forum of industry and trade chambers. It's the second time that we're holding this forum. Kazan Forum, right now it's a federal forum. The status of it has been raised to federal. And my colleague and our colleagues from Kyrgyz Republic come to us every year very actively. We are in very active negotiations about joint events. And this year, I think that, dear colleagues, we need to enhance our work to establish more trade fairs, because just yesterday we were discussing with colleagues that we're looking for various products in other countries, but the solution actually of this problem is very close by. That's why I think that this integration, working with the business communities at the venue of Kazan Forum, among others, and at other events in Kyrgyz Republic and so on, that should be used for that. And of course, it's very understandable, this form of organizing that joint missions. We would like to see the delegation of Kyrgyz businessmen here in Tatarstan. We already noted that your team coming to Kazan Forum, B2B relations and so on, it's very large. And dear colleagues, we just want to know the indirect effect of our cooperation. In one way or another, when we're talking to each other here at this venue, even we don't have any results today, there will be results in the future. And that's why my proposal is, let's get together more often. Let's exchange information. Let's send information about what is being done in our respective countries, and let's enhance our strategic cooperation. And thank you very much for inviting me to this roundtable. Thank you very much, Mark Andrej, because you noted that your chamber, Industry and Trade Chamber, takes part in very many events. But I also want to say that on a regular basis, our colleagues receive the business missions coming to the Republic, and all the business missions inevitably come to that Industry and Trade Chamber. Now I would like to give floor to the Vice Minister of Mr. Bakirov.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman CCI, Kyrgyzstan. I'm also extremely thankful to the organizers of this International Economic Forum. And we are discussing so many important issues. And as my colleague already mentioned today, we express our opinions, we share our experience on operations of chambers of commerce and industry. How do we facilitate activities of our businessmen if they want to operate in different regions of the Russian Federation? Russian Federation has more than 130 CCIs, and as Sergei mentioned, more than 35 committees also in operation. We smoothly cooperate over the course of recent years, and we want to ensure that we are on track, that we are not just doing things in general. We want to be boiled down, narrow to the specific sectors of our industry. We have a great plan for this year and for the next year. We have something to learn from each other. We need to share our experience in terms of how to provide training to our experts and how to issue certificates of origin, how to organize business missions. And this and last year, in many regions of the Russian Federation, we received the business missions, and they found their partners in Kyrgyzstan. And I'm adamant that they can always find assistance from the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And we operate within the law of the Kyrgyzstan Republic. We do not just protect the rights of Kyrgyzstan-based businessmen, we also protect the rights of the businessmen operating in Kyrgyzstan. And over the entire history, this year we will celebrate 65th anniversary since foundation of CCI. We established relationships with 80 countries of the world. We signed MOUs with them, and the Russian Federation is one of the strategic partners among them. And as a part of bilateral cooperation, Eurasian Economic Union, CSTO, Eurasian Economic Community, and we provide opportunities to our businessmen, and we facilitate all economic aspects for them. In order to improve our relationships even further, this year, we plan to host important events. We already invited participants from constituents of the Russian Federation to take part in it, to develop the business missions. We want to organize at the Bank of Isikulek to organize the Russia-Kyrgyzstan Economic Forum. Once again, please come to us, and the top management of ministries and agencies, please facilitate these delegations to have this level delivered at the top possible level. In brief, let me mention that CCI of Kyrgyzstan is a full-scale project on digitalization of all our services. And by the end of this year, we will complete this digitalization, and any partner dealing with us will be able to receive any information and any services online. Thank you for your attention. Once again, in the end, I want to express the deepest appreciation to the organizers for the highest level of this forum and this roundtable in particular. Thank you, Sanat Sabirovich and Mr. Sedak Sabirovich. Thank you for helping our businessmen and for the ones who are there, established for a long time, and the newcomers as well. On top of this track of cooperation, we want to point out a unique financial institution that operates in Kyrgyzstan. This is the only business case. This is unparalleled for this years. This is the Russia-Kyrgyzstan Development Fund. And I'm giving the floor to the member of the board of this fund, to Mrs. Akmaral Merkanova. Dear participants, dear chairman, on behalf of the Russia-Kyrgyzstan Development Fund, let me welcome all of you and express my appreciation to the organizers for the opportunity to take part in it. As of now, Russia-Kyrgyzstan Development Fund plays one of the key roles in strengthening strategic partnership between Russia and Kyrgyzstan. Our fund is focused not only on support of the investments, and also we support socially important projects that facilitate social and economic cooperation and upgrade of Kyrgyz economy. Let me provide you information on our performance. Our fund plays a leading role in the financial market. Overall aggregate capital of our fund based on the Q1 results of 2025 is 541 billion US dollars, more than 43% of the aggregate capital of banking system. We provide financing on two areas. We provide investment loans for direct borrowers and SMEs, and we use our partner bank network for it. Starting from 2015, we invested in Kyrgyzstan by more than 678 million US dollars. The fund finances the most priority sectors of our economy, such as agro-industrial complex, manufacturing, processing of agricultural produce. And we invest in infrastructure, public health, education, logistics, and other areas. As of 1st of April 2024, our credit portfolio reached more than 337 million US dollars. It's important to commemorate that our fund operates in 7 regions of Kyrgyzstan and provides long-term financing on more preferential conditions than normal at the market, so our partners use funds more efficiently. Let me give you a little bit of statistics. Aggregate revenue of entrepreneurs and enterprises who received our financing accounted for 121 million soms. The growth rate is by 49% versus 2022. The tax revenues in the Republic increased by 63% and 0.1 billion soms. An overall volume of export of the borrowers in 2023 reached 203 million US dollars, and out of this amount, the export to the Russian Federation reached 118.5 million US dollars. on the aggregate procurement of equipment and raw materials. In 2023, the volume reached 1,350,000,000 US dollars, and from the Russian Federation, we procured 20% of the equipment, and the amount is 260 million US dollars. These statistics demonstrates the social and the integrational effect of our fund operation. We are raising Russian solutions, and we are bringing them in Kyrgyzstan. Over the course of our history, we witnessed growth in the priority sectors of our economy and an improving well-being and prosperity of our population. And Russian Kyrgyzstan Development Fund provides financing for the investments, most of all. To implement the project successfully, we are ready to provide funds for the current capital, and for the projects, we are ready to provide experts, accompaniment, and support for the projects. And we will assist at the structurization phases and at the phase of the implementation. Our fund annually organizes the business forums in Kyrgyzstan, and it is meant to improve cooperation between two countries. And last year in our forum, 50 participants from the Russian Federation took part in our forum. So I invite the Russian businesses to Kyrgyzstan. Please take part in the economic forum, which will be delivered in the fall this year. And we are interested in improving sustainable and stable relationships with the Russian businesses, finding partners in Kyrgyzstan. We have preferential programs to finance Russian businesses in Kyrgyzstan. Besides, it's important to stress the importance of development of interregional cooperation between constituents of Kyrgyzstan and the Russian Federation. And for example, partnership with Tatarstan is a powerful role model. We are always commemorating the high level of hospitality, and Russian Kyrgyz Development Fund is open for you, and we're ready to host you and discuss all the prospects of cooperation. In conclusion, let me emphasize that economic cooperation between Russia and Kyrgyzstan is of strategic importance, and Russia-Kyrgyzstan Development Fund will continue its operation on strengthening this partnership. Thanks for your attention. Thank you, Mrs. Akmaral Bagacharovna. Indeed, this fund provides high-quality service. And I just urge the business to come to the fund, because it's really, really helpful at the entry level, at the starting point to launch your businesses. Our next speaker for today is the first vice president for the Tourism Development Fund in Kyrgyzstan, Asylbek Aliyev. And Kyrgyzstan is not a comfortable business environment. It's not only a friendly atmosphere. This is a unique nature, landscapes, mountains, lakes, and rivers, and I'm very happy to be a representative of this territory. So everybody fall in love with this wonderful country. And the floor goes to Asylbek Askirbekovich. Please share with us on your activity and the programs that are meant for further development of the tourism in your republic. Distinguished participants of the session, Amir Shamilevich, thank you for giving me the floor. I want to thank Russia-Kyrgyz Business Council for organizing this roundtable. Ladies and gentlemen, let me explain what the investment opportunities are in Kyrgyzstan. Tourism in Kyrgyzstan is developing consistently, and tourism is one of the major sectors of our industry. Our growth rate is 3.9%. We have capacity to grow by 10%. We have more than 20 tourism-oriented companies and 128,000 enterprises that are directly or indirectly related to the tourism. In 2023, we received tax preferences. Operators decide what is the taxation rate, 2% in case of cash settlements, 4% in case of non-cash settlements, irrespective of your volumes. So we increased the level of taxation. It means that our sector is operating in full compliance with the legislation, not in the gray area. It is easy to start your business in Kyrgyzstan. It's even easier to operate as a tourism agency. In 2019, we liberated citizens of 43 countries to enter the country without any visas. This was done for the first time in Central Asia. We abandoned all the barriers in terms of presence of CIS and foreign countries. Now 61 countries of the world citizens can come to Kyrgyzstan without any visa required. Why Kyrgyzstan is so attractive? Pristine nature, snow-covered peaks of mountains, the meadow herbs, and crystal clear rivers and lakes, and dispersed among the mountains. If you want to see this pristine nature and Silk Road history, please come to our country. And we especially popularize such tourism types as adventure, hiking, trekking, mountain tourism. We have this terrain trails for Nordic walking. We open glampings, and we also provide alpine tourism. So you can go and have a mountain ski, and we have 15 alpine ski bases, and we support it. And we initiated construction of the alpine ski base facility near Bishkek and near Isyk Lake. They will operate 4 seasons. And such complexes as Free Mountain Peaks, the rough cost is 1.2 billion euros, Basic 101 billion US dollars. This is the project cost. They will operate all 4 seasons, all year around. Also, sports complex will be built in Isyk for training, for rehabilitation of sportsmen, and for recreation of sportsmen from 30 sports types. Kyrgyzstan tourism, it's recipient of investments. So we invested 350 million US dollars for different projects implementation in the tourism area. Our foundation implements projects of a smaller scale to support the tourism infrastructure. These are projects like Rest Point. Altogether, in our republic, we build 68 rest points, and we build eco trails for Nordic walking and glampings. And we have a foundation to finance your projects, and we can assist you on building hotels, complexes, the glampings that are so popular in the high mountain lakes, and medical tourism also. We build rehabilitation centers, recreational facilities, and resorts. Thank you. Thank you, Asilbek Askarbekovich. Our next speaker will present a fascinating project. We know that in the Russian Federation, we got a big number of CIS citizens, including Kyrgyzstan. They reside, they stay in Russia. And our next project is a unique product. The company they offer services on real estate purchasing in Russia. So the floor goes to Zarita Akhmatova, head of Planet 312 company. Let me greet everyone. Our company stands out. This is not just a real estate agency. We mostly operate with the migrants, with the international citizens. Most of our clients are citizens of Kyrgyzstan. And we work first of all with citizens of Russia and with the foreigners as well. We've been present at the Russian market for more than 9 years, and over the course of this time, our team has become top-level professionals, and we concluded more than 10,000 deals already. So we tackled the major problem for migrants. It's not a top secret that there are problems for migrants registration. You need to confirm that you are present in the Russian Federation legally. You do not violate. And the landlords, they are registering migrants unwillingly. They are tentative to register the migrants. And the second issue is while renting residential areas, they overpay. And if they purchase their own real estate, they will invest and save. They protect their own rights to be present in the territory of the Russian Federation.
Besides, quite recently, I established a charity foundation, the Planet of Hope, Planeta Надежды. It's in Osh, Kyrgyzstan, because the key problem currently for the children with special needs, because there are no professionals or not enough professionals. They have to leave the country. They have to leave the country because they cannot find professionals who can treat their children. So what does a foreigner acquire buying housing in Russia? First of all, the safety of staying in Russia in compliance with the immigration law of Russia. They don't need to worry about their immigration status and patent. Their children can receive education, and morally they can be quite safe and secure. No one is going to knock on their door and ask them to leave their dwelling. And of course, the financial development, because it's good investment. They're going to receive a tax exemption. So because this is available to everybody, not only to the citizens of Russia, but also to foreigners legally working in the Russian Federation. So it reduces the corruption aspect. A lot of people who are leasing apartments, they don't want to register foreigners in the apartments, so they have to pay at the black market, and the quality of this service is not very good. So when they buy housing in Russia, they change their status, they acquire taxation status in Russia, and they can also confirm their income so that they can transfer their finances to their homeland. This is our team. We're very friendly. We are multinational, and what I would like to implement on top of that what we see now and what we would like to see in the future. We would like to see some mortgage programs, because we're not only working with a standard mortgage, but we're actually working with the Islamic mortgage with Abbas Bank. And we would like to see the implementation of these mortgage programs in compliance with Sharia law in Russia. There are lots of banks in Russia working with foreigners, but we would like to see Islamic mortgage, which is not present in many banks. Also, there are many Muslims living in Russia, but not for all of them any Russian beneficial programs are available for these. These programs are not available to them because they're not in compliance with the Sharia law. And I'm talking about the secondary housing and the newly built housing. Also, in Bishkek and Osh, we are now opening our branches, and we came to the market promoting Islamic mortgage. Unfortunately, banks in Kyrgyzstan are not active in cooperation with the agencies. So we would like to see some relations when we get some attention. So probably you'll be able to help us, because it's a very painful topic. If we're talking about the rights of Kyrgyz citizens, a lot of them come here, but they probably would like to go back to their homeland. But the key problem is housing. Earning money in Russia, they still want to buy housing in their motherland, but it's very difficult for us currently to get relations with the banks. We're in the middle of negotiations, and we're mostly talking not to the sellers but to the buyers. So we're helping to the credit and finance organizations to promote their products. In Kyrgyzstan, including the government banks, they have Islamic windows open, but I visited the banks and talked to the representatives. I saw that they still don't have the experience. They still lack the experience that we have, because they are sort of apprehensive. They cannot evaluate the income of the migrants working in a different country, and we can help them because we've been working with Russian banks. We have lots of experience. We would like to also penetrate the Kyrgyz market and help our citizens, among others, to promote the banking products. I think that would be very interesting, and I think it would be very beneficial and profitable for everyone concerned. Yes, thank you very much. It's not just a plain business project. It's a very it's more like charity, helping people. So we have exhausted our agenda. I want to thank all the speakers participating in the roundtable. And in conclusion, I would like to say thank you very much. Thank you, my colleagues, our colleagues from Kyrgyzstan, for bringing your products, for coming in such a big number. Thank you very much, our host from Tatarstan, for organizing this event at a very high level. Thank you very much for your hospitality, and we expect to see all of you in other venues, Yekaterinburg, Enaprom, and Issyk investment forum in Issyk. Thank you very much, colleagues. See you next.